Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the J22 Report. I am your host, Johnnie Market. You all know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Just a little disclaimer, nothing should be construed as financial investment advice. These are my thoughts, my opinions. And read more. I have two disclaimers below. Read more down below. So let's get into today's stuff. I haven't been doing a video for a while. Been very busy the last couple of days. Staring at screens and making spreadsheets it's not as easy as it sounds. It's actually not glorious because everyone, looks down upon that employment now. They're like, oh yeah, spreadsheets and all that. We need to bring manufacturing or whatnot. But I mean, to be honest, it's not easy work. And so anyway, let's get into today's stuff. Just go over the data this week. Monday, really nothing to really talk about. Treasury purchases, whatnot. Look at the NFIB business optimism desk. That's more than expected. And this could core inflation, less than expected. 2%, not 3. Nothing really to talk about. Wednesday, I see crude, nothing. Today's info, though, I think gold was going down, and I think some of it was the trade, but I also think the data. I mean, what the media says is rarely true. And not only that, traders, we just don't know what they're saying. But if you look at the PPI, that's negative 5% wholesale. Now, this is why I think gold had a big pop today, because they don't look at this as good. They don't like deflation. The elites, the traders, they view that as bad. And so retail sales, that was 1%, which is anemic growth, uh, above the consensus and forecast, but that's still anemic. But inflation, I think, really scared them, even though, in my opinion, this would actually be good. But the reason this is also going down is people aren't buying anymore. They don't have the money to go shopping, to go to restaurants, to eat, among other things. So this is not good. Empire Manufacturing, Philly Fed Manufacturing. Manufacturing is contracting, regardless of all the BS stories you see about they're investing in gigawatts and all these AI data centers, and manufacturing is not coming back to the United States. And this has been done completely wrong, mismanaged since number 48, 47 has been in office. So look at this. Retail sales, capacity utilization, that's, within numbers, but this is, as I kept saying, mixed to bad. I don't think there'll be a panic. I think that we will be in recession, but this isn't completely bad, but it's mixed. But that's, what I have to say with the regards to data. And let me see, there was a couple of things that kept going. I was wondering. Oh, okay, I do have that. So, good. I'll have, I'm going to try to do a couple of videos um, this week. I have a lot of stuff, but at least Saturday and maybe two on Sunday, or maybe. But yeah, that's the data. It's not really. And I always said, like, a bull market requires, if you look at this for gold, weak economic data. Uh, Gold rose on soft dollar and weak data. Now, I think a declining dollar helps, but I don't think it's the end all be all. There are times where the dollar rises with gold, and there's times it doesn't. So So I wonder what they say is weak. Let's just see. See this producer prices, retail sales growth slowed. So uh, and so, yeah, you can tell the one thing they fear, the elites fear, is deflation. It's because all their wealth is in asset prices, and this would hurt them. Deflation doesn't hurt you, it hurts. I mean, it's going to actually hurt because there's a lot of Americans in the stock market. I know 18, 19-year olds after this sort of bear market rally, bragging about how much they've gone up. But I still think the stock market, this is what bear markets do. They sucker people in. And this is what I think the stock market, this bear market rally is doing. Now, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I mean, objectively, if it breaks 6,100, then it's, but this could end up being getting ready for a blow off top. We'll see. I'm not invested in the stock market, so I don't have a bone to pick with it. Doesn't matter to me either way, but I, and remember, Buffett, he's not resigning till the end of this year. So there could be another rally in. So we'll see what happens. Regarding another trend I talked about, who knows? Maybe I'm like Gerald Celente without the yelling. Trends in the news. So here it is, Pan American Silver. And this is why I said for miners, this is why I'm not really, when I had to sell, I sold more of the big cap royalty and streaming to pay off my debt. Is you just don't know what's going to get bought out right now. And we're heading into a huge wave of M&A in terms of, and you just doing the trend like, oh, there's a corrective pullback. But let's say you own shares of MAG and you decide to sell. There was a pullback is coming. I can get more. Well, Pan American bought it out. And, for all purposes, I actually own both Pan American and MAG. Not a buy or sell recommendation for either one. Just disclosing. But look at this. We're representing 20.54 per share. So let's say you sold it, MAG was at like 15 or 16. And you're like, yeah, I'm waiting for a pullback. Well, if you own MAG and you sold waiting for a pullback, you never got it. In fact, you lost money doing that because Pan American went and bought it. So this is what's dangerous. If you want to do in my opinion, stop losses are the best way to lock up gains regarding miners because you don't know. I did not think Mag Silver was going to get bought out by Pan American. I thought it would be bought out by Fresnillo, which I don't own. But I thought they would grossly overpaid. And you never know. They might come in, and this is why I wait for the transaction, in my opinion, to close before I do anything of selling. Because you never know, it might get into a big bidding war. Fresnillo might just come in and say, all right, we'll give you $25 all cash. And then they might say, hey, even though I don't get shares, I'm getting $5 more. So I might be willing to do that. So yeah, you never know what's gonna happen in terms of with these, and that's why when I sold, I sold Hecla because I just did not like. Actually, I sold Hecla because Keno Hill should be in production by now, so I'm worried about that, and I wasn't a fan of that. I'm not saying it's a sell recommendation. Like when silver takes off, that stock will probably do well too. I'm well positioned in silver though, so I am not worried. And then in terms of like the royalty and streaming, like they're not going to get. I mean, you never know. Franco might end up buying out Cisco Gold or Triple Flag or whatnot. So I mean, never say never. I could be wrong on that, but you can see this big wave coming. Pan American buying Mag Silver. So not investment advice, just my opinion. But in terms of like selling or holding, in my opinion, trading in and out, waiting for a pullback or whatnot. If you want to take profit, in my opinion, not advice. If you want to take profits, then that's different. Selling because like I made 100%. I want to at least get the original invested capital back, or I want to at least, let's say invested and you have a gain. You're like, hey, I invested 5,000. I have 9,000. I at least want to sell 5,500, so I made a profit, and then whatever. That's different. And a lot of people I know literally would sell stocks and say, I'm just going to wait for a dip so I can buy more. And then something like this, Pan American buying, and they end up losing. And you never know. Like sometimes a bidding war occurs where Fresnillo might jump in, or I don't know, there's not many. Hecla might jump in. I doubt Hecla would. Hecla or First Majestic might buy. I'm trying to think of realistically who can jump in. It's Fresnillo or something else, or maybe a gold miner that wants to diversify their reserves and see this is a big deal. They might just say, hey, this is a good, and there could be a bidding war. I doubt it, but yeah, this is more of the waves. I didn't think Mag was going to get bought out by Pan American, but it did. So, uh, and this is the other thing. This is another reason I think this rally sort of capped. This Fed is in no hurry to slash interest rates. Now, I know from 2021 till now, the Fed started jacking up rates and the stocks have gone up. But, a lot of these companies, they locked in low interest rates for a long term. And this isn't 2022 anymore. There's going to be a lot of companies that will need to refinance later this year. They're going to need interest rates to go lower. I think that's one of the reasons. But, it's left rates unchanged. And I think it will continue to do that. So I think the Fed's going to reverse course. But for the next couple of months, and this is the other thing. I talk about Eastern Europe. It's probably going to be the best place to live over the next 20, 25 years. Is Poland's gold reserves are now larger than the European central banks. So there it is. Look at that. Polska, Bank of Poland. Polish flag. National Bank of Poland now owns 509.3 tons of gold, larger than European Central Bank. They probably got all this from Fort Knox. Who knows? We'll see. Do y'all remember when Doge was supposed to audit Fort Knox? Yeah, not happening. So, and we don't hear much about them anymore either. Don't expect anything good to come from them. So, anyway, so all I have for today. In terms of gold, let's see where it is. We'll close with the price and just comment out of. Now, I think gold has one more upswing, like a blow off top. I do not see people talking about how 10-ounce silver bars are going to buy you a house. So I don't think we're there yet, or one gold coin will buy you a house. But if you actually look at this, now this is after hours, it's 16. But big day today, $320. That was strong support. And today it really went up astronomically. And it just, even though it broke down, it came back up. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. As I said, this could be if it stays like this, it'll be a long drawn out. I think there's one more, but I could be wrong. Some people, there might have already been a top, and I don't think this is the euphoric wise, though. I don't see, overbought, extended. I definitely, sentiment being high. I definitely see that. I saw some things. That's why someone said, "How are you not bullish on gold?" I remember someone actually said that on one of my videos. So I can tell you're a new listener. But I think I just don't see the very cocky gold bugs. I listen to Corlin Economics. I listen to what the gold podcasts that are tolerable. And I see a little bit more confident pep in their step, but I don't see the arrogance. I don't see the trash talk that I saw in 2011. That's why I don't see a top. So, anyway, hit that like button, subscribe. Just hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, please. Really helps out the channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next video.